Welcome back. Basically, what I wanted to show you today is how to customize the keyboard shortcuts to access any command, any macro you want in Word with a single keystroke. To get right to it, what we need to do is open up the dialog that allows us to make these changes. Now, unfortunately, it's a little tedious to get to it, but it's not too bad. We start by going to File, come down here to Options. Now, they kind of bury it, as you can see here. Really makes it a little tedious to change, but it's worth the trouble. We click Customize Ribbon. And then down here, there's a little button that says Customize, and that brings up our Customize Keyboard dialog box. And this is where we make the magic happen. On the left, we have a categories list box where we can choose what particular set of commands we want to pick from. You can scroll down using the scroll bar. Now, I personally often want to either choose all commands, that's everything in Microsoft Word in alphabetical order, or macros that I've written. Once you select your category, on the right, we have the list of commands. Now, you can click in the commands box, and let's suppose you know it starts with an S, the command you're interested in. So you can type S and it will jump to the S's. That's at least one way to speed up finding the command you want. So once you've selected the command you want, suppose you're going to assign it to Cent Left Extend. Now, I've actually put that command on my custom tab, custom ribbon. That's a separate video. But here I'm going to assign it to a shortcut key. In order to do that, I use this little edit box here for press new shortcut key. With it selected on the left, you can see what current keys are assigned as a shortcut to that command. Obviously nothing right now, which is why I'm going to assign this to a shortcut for this demonstration. So I click in the press new shortcut key edit box and type what I want. But I'll press Alt Shift left arrow. The Alt is a designator for me that I'm going to be changing a sentence, or at least selecting a sentence. And the Shift is kind of to be consistent with the way Word uses it as a selection shortcut key. Finally, you can see right here whether there's a command already assigned to that keyboard shortcut. Now, personally, I override shortcuts as needed because I like my keyboard layout a certain way, but you do what works for you, of course. Now, on the bottom left, I can click Assign button. And now the current shortcut key that this is assigned to is Alt Shift left arrow. There are some other things here. Let's look at it. Save changes in. Normally you want, no pun intended, you want it in normal.m. You could specify that it's in this particular document. I don't want to do that. I want it accessible by every document I used. And normal is the standard Word template. So I want it there. I can also click that shortcut. I could remove it if I wanted to. I'm not going to because I don't want to change it. I could reset all. Now that's useful if you've got a bunch of shortcuts or something's got glitched and messed up. You can come back here and click reset all, and it will set everything back to the default shortcuts that Word uses. Now that is tedious if you've got a lot of shortcuts. So one of these days I'll do a video on how to use VBA, Visual Basic for Applications, to add the shortcuts back in short order. I'm actually done here, so I'll click close. And then I want to close this window out, so I'll click OK. Incidentally, if you want to get back to that File Options Customize Keyboard, you can also right-click the ribbon and choose Customize the Ribbon. Now that doesn't get us to directly what we want, but at least it brings up the Customizing the Ribbon dialog where we can click Customize here. So it's a little faster way to get to it if you do it a lot. And that's how you customize a keyboard shortcut in Word, actually Word for PC. Incidentally, there is another way to change a specific shortcut. I don't find this as useful. You can press Control Alt Numpad Plus. Now you may notice that the cursor here changes to the little command symbol as used in Word for Mac or on Macs in general. It's waiting on me to specify what shortcut I want to modify. Now I just created one for Alt Shift left arrow, so I'll press that, and notice it brings up a very similar dialog box to what we had before, but notice the categories are grayed out. It's got one command selected on the right, so it's allowing me to change the keyboard shortcut for that specific shortcut. That can be useful. I don't find it as useful because I'm usually assigning new keyboard shortcuts to a command. But if that happens to be what you need, then you can do that. I can come here, select it, remove it, add a new shortcut key to it, whatever I need to do. But it is restricted to the specific keyboard shortcut you press after you press Control-Alt+, Numpad plus. So that's it. A quick tip on changing the keyboard shortcuts, customizing it to work your way. Please take advantage of that. As you get used to using the keyboard shortcuts, they will make your work faster. At first, there's a transition phase where you're practicing, making yourself use it, getting over your muscle memory from the way you've done it for a few years, but it will streamline your work. So please try it. If you do, let me know in the comments what commands you've assigned, either a macro or a standard word command. I'd be interested to see how you use it compared to how I use it. Okay, so that's it for me. I hope you find it useful. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing before you started watching this.